opportunity for us to have a look at his spring and that stride that he has, and I think the return of form that he is beginning to find. Well, it'll be a little more subdued now, I think, from the spectators. Grzegorz Kucik, the 31-year-old, finishing 75th in this race in Hochfilzen last weekend. That was missing 4 targets. If, let's say, he misses just 1 target, I think he'll make the top 35 and he'll get a start in the pursuit competition. So this start is very easy. You see it there out of the stadium, and then you drop down a little before the mostly climbing up to the far end. Strolia, the 30-year-old, 4th in Ruhpolding in the sprint competition. The next day he was 5th in the pursuit, his 2 best results, and he really has shown his strength again this season. Strolia finishing 12th in this race last week in Austria. I don't mean to be critical at all, but I just feel that Fiolmaillet hasn't quite got the spark, the movement through his body as he had at his best last year, but now he is turning up the pace. He's quite a light weight in terms of body weight athlete, only 70 kilos, and that really does pay off coming up these very sharp and steep climbs. So this is coming up to the 700-meter marker, and he'll set a time of 1 minute, you can see it there, 50 seconds, 0.7. Will it be the fastest? I don't think so, to that point. So David Zöbel, what a surprise. David Zöbel up in Finland, reaching the podium, 3rd position in the first race of the year. He said even he was not expecting that outcome. Tommaso Giacomo, the 22-year-old, what a sensational personal best he had last weekend, finishing 6th in the pursuit competition, moving all the way up from 20th. He only missed 2 targets from 20 shots fired, and I would suggest if he can get 10 out of 10 today, he could well find himself in the top 5. Roman Ries coming up, bib number 9, but it's Michal Kretschmarz from the Czech Republic, Olympic silver medalist in this event. Well, that was over 4.5 years ago in Pyeongchang. And he's had one 3rd position in the pursuit as well, but that was back in season 2016-2017. So Kretschmarz needs to find his form. Was 12th last week, so the form is good for certainly a top 10. David Zöbel now, how does he compare to Fiolmaillet at 700 meters? Your story isn't fully told at 700. Some will go out too fast and disrespect this very tough track profile. But most of the big names and the experienced biathletes will hold back a little bit over this first kilometer. So David Zöbel, that's okay, 4 seconds. And the less experienced Giacomo, my word, that is fast. I thought I was about to say he'll be some 4 or 5 seconds behind. But looking so easy, he's taken the lead time. Very, very much in form, very much in control. Look in the background, the rotation of athletes there, they're just warming up. There's a little segment down there. You want to try and get some feeling and take your pace up to race pace prior to the race. This is Timofey Lapshin just preparing, but 11 to get underway. Vladislav Kiriev, amazingly 20th at the Olympic Games in the individual event. That's the 4-shoot event, where 1 minute is added onto your time for every shot missed. I thought that was exceptional at 21-year-old. So the early part of the race, and well, here's a big future name. He's not just a future name, he's a very much a current name. Finishing 5th last weekend, all the way from 21st. Nicholas Hartweg from Switzerland. Very smooth and so powerful on his skis. The upper body strength is there, the leg strength is there, the balance is there. He really has everything. So, Roman Reis. Strong athlete. Often you want to have a sort of a first gear, a choppy gear up those steep climbs. In fact, really is taking it within himself, I think. Just holding back for what is to come later. Just looking further ahead, Phil Maillet, he's well and truly through the 1.5 kilometer. In fact, Phil Maillet will be coming into the range very soon. So this is Timofey Lapshin, formerly raced for Russia. He's 34-year-old now. And he has a couple of podiums, but way back from when he raced for Russia, back in season 11-12, 12-13. He crossed over to representing Korea. That was in the build-up to the Olympics 4.5 years ago in Pyeongchang, but still is representing Korea now. Seb Samuelsson at those Olympics in Korea 2018, another star was born, but we haven't seen him, in my opinion, on the podium quite as often as we had expected way back then, with the huge talent this man is. So the first of the Swedes getting underway. Seb Samuelsson, bib 15. Definitely starting out with intent. Is it something about being Swiss? Famous cross-country skier, famous tennis skiers, they're all very calm in personality and composed. And that is the same with Hartweg. Dario Colonia, the cross-country skier who won the overall title 4 times, very similar, calm and smooth. Here we are. The wind flags are calm. The spectators are calming down. And I hope we'll be perfectly quiet when he builds his position. So first time in, 5 shots, prone shooting, 50 meters, the hit target the size of a golf ball. Fabulous! He could not have wished for a better start. He missed 1 shot last week out of 5 prone in this race in Austria. He's at home. The pressure is not affecting him at all, and that's a very good early time, 8:15 as he leaves the range. And that really does put a lot of the big names chasing under a little bit of pressure, knowing full well they have to also hit 5. So Gregor Gudzik further down the range, lanes 14 I think it was. That's close to the zeroing part of the range where the Polish team zeroed their weapons. So Samuelsson, well, that time of Phil Maillet is beaten by 3 seconds. Has Samuelsson gone out too fast? So Vytautas Strolia, first shot hit. And the second. And the third. All 5. I mentioned that the journey down into this range, you certainly are able to manage your breathing, get your breathing under control. There's a good, easy descent as you spin back down the valley. Only 11 seconds adrift of the great Phil Maillet. Gudzik also, you can just see him ahead. He missed 1 target. 39 seconds adrift of Phil Maillet's time. So Giacomel coming in soon. The time will be close. So there you can see the chicane, the left and then the right turn as you slow your pace down into the range. And this is where you manage your breathing. You're absolutely getting your breathing under control. At 1,000 meters here, there is a slight influence from the lack of oxygen when you're sucking in up to 200 liters of air every minute as you race cross-country skiing. His pulse is at, I think that's 171 beats per minute. I was just about to say, well, maybe they need to make these targets smaller. They're all being hit so far, but it is actually very early days in this race as the rain starts to come down. So, Michael Kretschmarsch, look at the way he's just getting his 7, 8 deep breaths of air into his body before the first shot goes. There's Jacques Allan, hugely popular in this area and always the entertainer. Excellent. Good start from Kretschmarsch. And you can just see the snow there splashing up. The rain is falling quite heavily, but the snow won't be turning so slushy. It's still quite icy within the snow, so very fast conditions. First of the Norwegians, 6.7 behind. He really didn't look stressed at all there, so definitely holding himself back in the first 2 or 3 kilometers of this race. Olli Hietensalo, very impressive last weekend, finding his magic. The man from Hämeenlinna, that's over in the southwest of Finland. Yes, last week in the relay he did very well, 21st position in the sprint race and 22nd in the pursuit competition. The relay that Finland produced was excellent, 5th position. Well, here is Jacques Allan. What an athlete he is. He broke his wrist, fell off his bike very badly in the summer just before the Olympics last year, and it was bolted together, pinned. You know, it didn't put him off. He had the best physio recovery. And this is interesting. He said he wouldn't get too excited with all the spectators left and right. He said he would calm down over this first bit, but I think he's a little excitable. It is the new best time. Oh, so the spectators are raising his game, and if you're French, you really do have to pick up your game, or you feel you have to. Here he is, the man on form, Johannes Tingesbø. Incredibly, way back in 2013, this is where he had his first ever World Cup win. He's gone on to win a further 58 since that day in December, and really is making himself one of the biggest names ever in biathlon. So Hartweg, he's adjusted his sights, offsetting for a wind coming from the left. He's fast on the skis, he's fast in shooting, and he always maintains this routine and so often is accurate. Remy Krug there just delighted that those 5 went down. Now, is this going to threaten Fillon Maillet? Not far off. 4.4 seconds off. The 22-year-old still looks like he's just absolutely cruising, and as if there's a lot left to give on the tracks. Rasteguriev's into the shooting. Rasteguriev's is 11 seconds. He hit all 10 in Austria in this race last weekend. But it's going so badly wrong today. 3 penalties. What is happening? It was as if there was no pressure last week in his first race, having had that 18-month enforced break from biathlon, but he's got pressure again this week. Seb Samuelsson, the first of the Swedish athletes, quickly into position. He has a lead ahead of Fillon Maillet of 4.4 seconds, and he does tend to shoot about the same pace as Fillon Maillet. This is going to be interesting. He needs 5. Both times in for a podium. Well, it's Samuelsson's still going through a good routine. We just witnessed there Sturla Holm, Ligrade starting his race. Jean-Marc Chablot, there he is. The good news from the range, so the first of my athletes. That's a good start. He's gone clear. So 4.4, I think it was, into the range. He's got 2.2 second advantage at the head of the race, ahead of Fillon-Maillet. Samuelsson will get that information, actually, within about a kilometre of leaving the range. And then he'll figure out to press harder or maintain the same level of push. So this range really, at the moment, 7 athletes are absolutely perfect, clear shoots, and then 7 have missed 1 or more. Ponchiloma's time into the range is second fastest to Samuelsson. So far, so good. Fillon-Maillet in the small screen there. Ponchiloma, so often he doesn't follow through with the last shot. Fillon-Maillet, this is inspired shooting. Too fast maybe. Too fast, he got away with the last one. Now the chase is on. He knows that to win today, ideally it would have to be 10 out of 10. He's missed 1, he turns left now, and it's a 150-metre penalty loop. Try and get a time on that. I think it's quite a quick penalty loop today. There's Johannes Tingesbø. So often he sets there he is, 5.1 ahead, sets a firm pace on the first lap. He won't know yet. So Fillon-Maillet, Johannes Tingesbø won't know yet that Fillon-Maillet has only missed 1 target today, but that is a very strong time. Fillon-Maillet 16:49, heading out onto his last 3.3 kilometers. Well, here's the man who finished 3rd last year, Philip Fjeld Andersen. First of the Norwegians, of course, we've seen Ligrade and Johannes Tingesbø out on the track as well. So Andersen just confirm his time into the range. He's 12.6 seconds behind. He can make that up in his fast shooting, or some of that, not all of it. The 23-year-old from Yailo, and there's Strolia, shot the perfect 0 in prone shooting, but missed 1 now in his stand. So Philip Fjeld has gained a little time on the range. He's 9 seconds behind. Dušek, that's a great feeling. Missing in the prone shooting, but he's off out without a penalty look in the standing. Now David Zubel, the surprise podium athlete on race 1 of the season. That was a 20-kilometre. His pulse is high, 1.76 there as he came in to shoot. Still a high pulse, it's not settling quickly. 2.8, 2.9 seconds in between each shot, 3.2 to the last one, but it was worth it. Now then, Jacquelin. He's 4 seconds ahead of Samuelsson. He said he wasn't going to push too hard on his first lap of 3.3, but he has, and he's missed 1 already. Got the last one. So Jacquelin will know that he has to get 5 shots now in the stand shooting in 3.3 kilometers time as the rain comes down heavier and heavier. They did expect it around 1:30 local time. And of course this is 2:30 local time now. Kretschmarsh, I would love to see all these targets go down. I'd love to see him back on the podium. Good man, perfect. So the perfect day on the range. 30 seconds process though. He lost some time. The best will be taking 24 or 25 seconds for the shooting process. But this is absolutely heartening to see him back in real podium threatening pace at the moment. That could soon change when Johannes Tingesbø and Ligrade come in soon. The range is still very, very, in terms of wind, very calm. Now this is Tero Seppala. Left-handed or left-eyed shot. Very tall athlete, and if your skis always spread out, we can see running along level with the bottom of the mat and up the side of the mat. Johannes Tingesbø in already. So Johannes Tingesbø has a lead time of 11 seconds ahead of Jacqueline. He is amazing. Tero Seppala, it didn't happen. Oh, I was a little nervous there, but why should I be? Sub 3 second shooting, process of 29.6, so he's lost a little time on the range, but he's going straight out. 16 seconds lead for Johannes Tingesbø. What a man, what an athlete. 4 races from 5 he's won this season, and it's a fabulous start so far in France for Johannes Tingesbø. He took a break after the Olympics, having won 5 medals there. 3 of them gold. Sorry, 4 of them gold, I beg your pardon. And he just needed a break, a family break. The season hadn't gone well. Including those 2 wins at the Olympics, he only won 3 races in the whole of last year. And already in 5 races, he's won 4. Quite incredible. So Johannes Tingesbø out and on his second lap, way ahead of the field. This rain could affect the tracks slowly but surely. As Hartvig once again showing his calm. 10 out of 10. Is this a Hartvig day? Shoots fast enough. Look at that total time, 22.3. Compared that to some of the more experienced biathletes, he really is setting a burning pace on the range. I know these Benny Daw, well, there's a good athlete to tuck in behind. Benny Daw will always give his best and give everything on the track. So Hartvig very, very cunningly just tucking in behind to get the drag-along effect. So Sturlaholm Laigrid, he's probably glanced up at the screen to see his teammate Johannes Tingesbø is ahead by quite a margin, by 16 seconds after the prone shooting. So 5 shots prone. Laigrid has improved on his consistency. He's improved on the speed in which he shoots. And another 5 out of 5, 23.6 seconds. Well, that was faster than Johannes Tingesbø. Now then, Samuelsson, so into the stand shoot. He has a margin of only 3.8 ahead of Quentin Fillon-Maillet, who we know shot the perfect score. It's very, very surprising for me. Samuelsson, such a strong athlete, so fast on the tracks. Very surprising that he hasn't managed to nail those last 2 shots. The brain just seems to disappear. The concentration goes as he comes along to shots 3, 4 and 5 in prone and stand. Well, here's Fillon-Maillet. He's aware that 1 target missed was not ideal today, so he's really powered along the final 3 kilometers. And now it's only 150 meters remaining, and they're a very easy 150 meters. He was hoping for his first win. He was 4th last weekend in Hochfilzen. We'll have to wait and see. At the moment, he holds first position from bib number 1. But he is coming back on form. 101 athletes still to complete their race, but that will be a good time and maybe a podium time at the end of the day. Ponsiloma, he missed 1 out of 5 prone shooting. It was the last shot. He steadied for his last shot there, and it really paid off. So Ponsiloma can certainly challenge Fillon-Maillet's time. It's going to be some 5 or 6 seconds. Not an easy task, actually. 7.8 behind. Well, it's Lapshin, actually. Well, I beg your pardon there, Lapshin. We saw him shooting in prone. He doesn't always produced the goods in the races. I did say it's way back in 2012-13, his last podium. 10 years ago, his last podium. But Lapshin is absolutely on fire today. He shoots fast and he's hit all 10. Well, Philip Fjeld Andersen is looking incredibly relaxed. And this is where you have to switch off from being the aggressive, high-end, pushing on the track to just calming down. It's all about now trying to reduce the pulse and your breathing and build this position without tension. So 5 shots standing at 50 meters away. The target, you can place a large orange just into the target, 115 millimeters wide. Oh, the last shot. The thinking shot, the thinking about I must get out of here fast shot. And it trips up so many biathletes. It's just the change of process, almost getting back into the racer on the track. So Andersen, 1 penalty. This looks, well, Lapshin is in the background coming up. This is an incredible race from Timotei Lapshin. Former Russian athletes, and well, the audience back home in Russia will be delighted, I'm sure, with this performance. This is Kretschmar coming in. It's been a brilliant race for Kretschmar as well. He was 10 seconds behind Lapshin after the stand shoot. So for now, Kretschmar takes the lead. It may not last, and it may not last long. So into the stand shoot for Emilien Jacquelin. 4 seconds ahead of Samuelson into the range. Can we class it as home pressure, audience interference? Certainly Martin Fourcade, he said, I respect the Germans, the Norwegians, who always stage World Cups, and it was back in 2013-14 that they staged a World Cup, which was the first major event since the Olympic Games, way back in, that's biathlon event, way back in 1992. Annecy was so popular, the spectators are so enthusiastic that we've kept coming back here, and I love this venue. Jacquelin right now won't be loving it quite so much, with 2 penalties in the stand, 1 in prone shooting, and this really will set him back, I think, as far as the 20s, maybe position 25 by the end of the day. So let's see his time. Well, I take that back. He's skiing so fast, he only finds himself 33 seconds behind. And that would certainly be enough for a top 15. So Johannes Tingesbo is amazing. He's 34.9 seconds ahead of Jacquelin coming into this shoot. Incredible. This man is untouchable today. Johannes Tingesbo, another 10 out of 10. He did it in the sprint last weekend. He did it in the relay. He did miss a couple in the pursuit competition, and one of them was a mistake. He's 45 seconds ahead. In brilliant form. Unstoppable. Race number 6 of the season. If he wins this one today, he'll have won 5. Well, his whole purpose this summer, apart from the new house that they moved into, it was to improve consistency and stability in shooting, and he really has provided now. Johannes Tingesbo. Have a look at the 22-year-old Niklas Hartweg. Spent many of his younger years in London as a young and talented triathlete. He now is a senior, extremely talented biathlete, and that is the skiing type, skiing and shooting. Well, Kretschmar in the end has 24 seconds, so losing time there over the last 3.3 kilometers for Hartweg, and you can see he was a little disappointed with that. Maybe he should have passed Benny Doe and not stayed in behind him. Here is Benny Doe. So happy for Benny Doe. I love it when he hits all the targets. It won't be the win today, but it may well be a podium. Lapshin has slowed down over the last couple of kilometres. Is it a win? And at this point, 0.3 of a second ahead of Kretschmar. Well, Timothy Lapshin did drop back a little over the final 900 metres of this race, but at the moment, he still leads. Now, Ligrid. His time is excellent into the range. His shooting is excellent as he leaves the range. Well, he was only 17 seconds behind Johannes Tingesbo into the range. And I would imagine he's improved on that with the speed that he shoots. Well, he's chasing. He's absolutely